Welcome back, everybody. Dren608 plays, playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We're in the middle of our discussion with the Demoness and a Goddess. Arilu Vorlis has revealed that she's also is a way to close the Worldwood, and then disappeared to get away from Nocticula, who just grabbed her and used her right away. From our previous descriptions, it sounds like Iomede wants me to become a legendary hero. Nocticula wants me to stay the Angel Path, which is kind of a twist. And there's a third option that none of them are expecting, which is to go down the dragon path. Because that was one of the things I was allowed to choose when I was talking to the storyteller before this. To ask Iomede some questions. Let's talk to the goddess.
Ask, and you shall have your answers.
You gained your power from the Starstone. How is my power any different?
My ascension was not accomplished in one day, and even the test of the Starstone was only one of its stages. I did not merely gain power, I embraced a sacred duty. Your power, on the other hand, stems not from long hours of study, not from trials. It is not the natural talent you were born with and carefully honed throughout your life. It is the result of an evil soul's deranged experiment with the blood of dead abyssal lords.
Why did you build the Wardstone?
Every one of my angels volunteered for that mission. They all knew what kind of watch they were going to keep. They knew that it would be a hard and exhausting battle, but that the lives of mortals throughout Golarion would depend on it. Alas, angels' minds can be as fragile as the minds of mortals. In less than 100 years, many wavered and wished to break the oath they had sworn. I do not blame them. I blame myself for allowing them to take on a burden that was too heavy for them.
Did you send the Herald after me?
He acted on his own noble impulse, and I did not stop him. I also did not try to dispel his misconception about you being my chosen one. I do not lie, but both celestial beings and mortals can be mistaken.
Oh, lies of omission.
She doesn't lie, sure. She merely withholds some of the truth. For the noblest of reasons, of course.
Yeah. You know what happened to your Herald?
My herald, my loyal companion, was captured. And now demons are using him to attack Dren. They're holding him in the Ivory Labyrinth, Baphomet's realm of the Abyss. It is a place I cannot go, not even to save my faithful friend. For doing so would start an interplanar war.
Maybe you guys should do that. Finish this once and for all. So, deep grief flashes across the goddess's stern face.
Right now, as we speak, Baphomet's servants are torturing the hand of the Inheritor. Tormented and anguished, he reaches for you with his thoughts and his soul. I cannot tell if he sees you as a great unfulfilled hope or a last chance. But Baphomet knows well how to exploit such desperate yearning. He has turned my herald into a source of power to open temporary portals. They do not last long, but they lead from the dungeon where the hand of the Inheritor suffers, right to your doorstep. Baphomet does not need to lead his armies through the rifts. Now he can send them right here.
Okay.
As long as my poor herald remains in the hands of that monster, this will not stop. I cannot say if it is still possible to save him, or if putting him out of his misery is the only way. I cannot openly ask you to intervene. But if you decide to do so, you will be helping both yourself and the one who chose the martyr's path when he followed you into the abyss.
So the martyr's path was just stupid. Why didn't you do anything to tell him that it's not true?
At first, I did not know who you were, or where your powers originated. This was revealed to me only when my herald offered up his dying prayer from the depths of the abyss. and following his desperate plea, I sought to confirm my suspicions. Until that point, I had observed you without intervening. After all, your crusade was securing victories, the first Golarion had seen in many years, so even if it was not I who had sent you into battle, it felt unfair to undermine you.
In other words, our Imperial guest had no problem with your power, as long as she didn't know where it came from. She didn't even share her suspicions with her own herald. And after all that, someone dares to claim that demons are the most deceitful creatures?
Well, you are, but that's beside the point, Nocticula.
You should not blame someone else if you base your accusations on vague suspicions rather than solid proof. You call my behavior deceitful. You, of all creatures, who kept the commander ignorant of the fate you had chosen for him? Indeed, the insolence of demons knows no bounds.
Okay. Why don't you destroy her?
I could. But then every other demon lord would decide that he or she was next and stand against me. In response to that, the Imperial lords would take up arms. Then Hell, Heaven, and Elysium would join the conflict. A war would break out, one which mortals could not hope to survive.
You'd be surprised what we can survive. Why have you decided to come here at this particular moment?
As I have already said, I am here to open your eyes to Nocticula's lies and to prevent more calamities in the future. You are at a crossroads now. I will not force you to do anything, but you needed to learn the truth and have the chance to cleanse yourself. The impulses that drive a soul as black as hers are beyond my comprehension. Perhaps she was startled by my arrival and decided not to bother keeping a secret that was bound to be revealed. Or perhaps she is up to some cunning scheme. Be on your guard. The architect of the world wound will surely try to bring you down. For if she truly is a key, then it must mean that she will die sooner or later due to the influence of her own horrible creation. And that means that sacrificing you is her only chance of survival.
Okay, and one more time, how can you cleanse me of the influence of the abyss?
Aurilu has planted a piece of the abyss itself in your soul. The only thing that can cleanse the soul of such a taint is that same soul. But I will be near. I will show you how to root out the demonic corruption. I am not a demon, and I do not offer any simple solutions. You will have to go your own way, no matter where it leads.
Alright, so she wants me to become a legendary hero.
It is time to make your decision then.
Not quite. I need to talk to Nocticula.
If you have questions, ask away. Because if I'd told you the truth, you would have refused to do it. But you're not angry with me, are you?
Yes, I am.
After all, everything has worked out perfectly fine. We found another key. So now you can live and enjoy your life. Provided that you catch Aurilu, of course.
Okay, so now that we've decided to keep my power.
Of course I do. Firstly, you'll need those powers to catch Aurilu and bring her to Threshold. Surely you don't think she'll willingly fall into your hands, and the demonic hordes will politely make way for you. And secondly, the powers Aurilu gave you protect you from dying before your time. None of us want the wound to kill you prematurely. You are extremely useful to me alive. After all, if you let Aurilu slip through your fingers, we can always go back to the original plan for closing the wound.
She was a key too. Why?
Apparently, she understood that her secret was about to be revealed anyway, so she decided to leave in style.
Toyo shrugs.
What human female over 100 years old wouldn't feel flattered at being the center of attention? Although she could have other reasons. She obviously wanted us to understand everything and immediately rush off in pursuit of her. She's probably been preparing for a war of all against all for a long time. And now she wants to wage it on her own terms. Expect treachery and traps wherever you go.
Yeah, well, you're involved. Obviously, I need to expect treachery and traps. I mean, you're the first succubus. That's what you all do. Where could she have fled to?
Now, let's think. She's hidden in the abyss before. She won't dare to return there now. Not only to my realm, but to any other either. Even if Baphomet and Discari both take it upon themselves to guard Aurilu personally, that won't stop me from sneaking in, slitting her throat, and leaving undetected. And she knows that. If I were her, I would hide in a place where the powers of her enemies were uncertain, and her own power was close to unlimited. I say you should look for her here, in the World Wound.
Okay. She's afraid to stand in the presence of God?
Tut, how rude! I wouldn't say the girl is that hideous.
Pointing the looks limit up and down.
I admit her face is far from perfect. Her body too, to be honest. But all in all, not bad. I've seen worse.
Your theatrics are too transparent to offend me, demon. At least, they can hardly offend me more than the very fact of your existence.
Got the goddess and the demon sniping at each other. You really plan to use me to become a goddess yourself?
That is nothing but the wild speculation of a little girl who gained celestial power through no merit of her own, and now fears that others may do the same, forcing her to share her place in the spotlight. Do I want to become a goddess? Of course I do. Who wouldn't? Can you help me with that? Sadly, no. Of course, Aurilu used to blather on about how her brilliant invention could bake gods like pies. But between you and me, the cleverer the inventor, the larger their ego becomes. So far, she hasn't managed to create anything stronger than you. And no offense, but you're no match for any deity.
Okay, I have no more questions here.
Very well.
We're
It's
at 12
time
minutes
for you
in.
to make your decision then.
No, it's not. I want to talk to my companions. Hey, dudes! What do you think about all
Perhaps
this?
your power came from the abyss, but your beautiful soul has cleansed it of all evil. Don't reject this power, for you have already proved that you are worthy of it.
That's somebody that came from the abyss who's actually been cleansed herself by Desna. Okay.
Your power doesn't lie in magic tricks. You know it doesn't. Your real power is inside you. You can win without tricks. I will help you.
I guess she doesn't care if I have the power or not.
Maybe I'm missing something here, but how can a demon grant the power of an angel? Listen, if you had no goodness inside, you couldn't have reached Lariel in the caves beneath Canabras. I remember how once, long ago, you showed me the light of heaven. Maybe I didn't believe in you right away, but I believe in you now. You've proven time and again that you deserve the light of heaven. You are my commander, marked by an angel. This power rightfully belongs to you.
Good old pure, lawful, neutral logic there. Way to go, Lion.
As a member of the Order of the God Claw, I ought to advise you to obey the will of the goddess, or at least to take it into consideration. But as your companion, who has spent a lot of time with you, I can't help but notice you have reforged demonic Nihindrian power into angelic power. This is a sign of order triumphing over chaos. Perhaps there is room for maneuver here. That is why I advise you to weigh all the options and to make your own decision.
That's typical lawful evil stuff. Follow the rules, but do what's best for you if you all possibly can. Twist the rules to your advantage.
It's not my place to gainsay the will of my goddess, but the thing is, I can sense evil. And I don't sense it in your power at all. I just don't. Whatever those horned monsters had planned for you, you definitely aren't playing by their rules.
Talia looks a little confused, but her force is firm.
You gave hope to the Crusaders in their darkest hour. even when all seemed lost and only despair and death lay ahead. With these powers, you have saved countless lives, and you will save more. Of course you must keep them.
Okay, typical neutral good. Use all the power in your possession to protect the people. Okay.
Someone pinch me. We are standing in the presence of the most pompous goddess in the world, debating whether we should listen to her or send her packing along with her invaluable opinions. I shall remember this moment for the rest of my life. Even as I stand in Pharasma's court, I shall tell this story to anyone who will listen.
Yeah, Darian's always wanting you to thwart authority and throw it out the window.
As to your original question, I'll be honest with you. Your power turns my stomach like sour prunes. Reject it, it can't hurt.
So he's definitely don't take the power. So that means go down either the dragon or the hero path, legendary hero path.
Ugh, these dames are tough. But Iomade is as tough as you. If she tells you to do something, you better do what she says. I can feel it in my tail. You're good and righteous and all that, so do what the righteous goddess is telling ya. Maybe it'll even make my life a smidge easier. After you, become more like a human.
We'll just cast a sighted glance says Nocticula and Iomade and moves closer to you so he can whisper. Follow the goddess, man. So you wanted me to go down legendary too.
Experience tells me that it's wiser to trust yourself and your own abilities. You can't trust what clients tell you. One day you're a hero, the next you're working for the enemy. Sorry, but it all looks like a setup to me. First they tell you to lay down your weapons, and then, once you're unarmed, they finish you off in some back alley.
So what is he trying to tell me? Keep it? Because it's my weapons? I guess?
Your powers are interesting from a theoretical point of view. You are an experiment started by Aurilu Vorlesh, and terminating it before it is complete would be foolish, not to mention impolite.
Good old Nemia. Okay. Guess I've made my decision.
I am waiting for your answer. I hope you will choose wisely.
Probably not.
Quite right. Make your choice, and make it the right one.
Boom! Boom! Power has hit me. Now what? So now I gotta choose. You need to choose this match you're going to follow. This choice will greatly affect the following events. However, no matter what your reasons for choosing one of the past powers, aesthetic preference, please remember there are no wrong choices. Yes, there are. Short of making your whole existence a miracle. You got new powers that send you beyond the limits of mortals. Okay. So, Angels would have been going down. Legend is what Iomade wants to go. So I have to assume Angel is what Nocticula wants, which just seems really odd. And then there's the tell them both to go stuff it and become a gold dragon. Well, the little bit of voting I had before I started up this particular video said go down Angel. So I'm going to go down Angel in this video. If I see a bunch of votes before I publish this to tell me to go down Legend or Gold Dragon, I will come back, I'll skip through all this part and just hit one of those. But we will put this out there for everybody to see the whole dialogue choices and all that nonsense. Okay? So, here we go. Down the Angel path we go. And I go next. So I have to pick all my stuff. So I get a... what do I get here? I get another Sword of Heaven thing, another Mythic Feat. I get wings! And I can summon Astral Divas. 4 Astral Divas now. Whoa. Only for a minute though. I wish they'd stay longer than a minute. Alright, so before I took Thundering Blows, Sword of Heaven. What feat do I really need? Critical multiplier goes up by 1. I could just take an extra regular old feat. Sorcerer's Reflex would let me cast some of my spells quicker. Weapon Focus. I only have Weapon Focus, so it'll only be an extra +1. Well, Floss attacks. -4 on your iterevs instead of -5 makes my extra attacks a little bit better. Could I take another mythic ability? I don't see anything other than like something like Last Strike. I could take Magic Nullification just so they do stuff to me, I can knock it off, but I seem to have very good saving throws anyway. So I don't, other than Magic Nullification, and I'm going to get another mythic thing, so at some point I can take that anyway. So I don't think I want this. Mythic Feats. This just gives you a 10 on things. I don't have schools, really. Melee attack. When you miss, they take your strength bonus. Cannot be increased by any other means. Strength bonus isn't that great. I mean, drink a potion is a swift action. That might be bad. Sorcerer's Reflex says you can cast first spell after initial roll. Cast a spell is either first level or at least 2 levels lower than the maximum level spells you can cast. So I could pop off a spell. A protection spell or something. Twice as many hit points in addition, and you're below 0 hit points, you get 10. So this could like make me have like 300 hit points. Geez, oh Pete, I don't know. I didn't know I'd have to go through this part. Previously, I stopped when I saw those 3 choices. When I went through the dialogue and I put up the poll. It's like I didn't want to make a choice before I went anywhere, and now I really have no idea. I kind of like this idea of flawless attacks. Makes my second and third, you know, my extra attacks be 1 better than what they are now. This gives me lots of hit points. This lets me pop off a spell before I go do something. So I can pop off a spell and then charge, which might be beneficial. Still doesn't let me pop up my sword though. That's what I'd really like, is to get my sword to come up, you know, as a quick action or a swift action or whatever. I guess. I mean, you could just take a regular feat, but I don't really want to do that either. If I was going to take an extra feat, it would be like taking a blind fight or something like that. It's between Sorcerer's Reflex, so I can cast some of my low to mid-level spells that I'm granted. Problem is I can't remember what spells I have that's worthwhile. It won't tell me what spells I have. Oh, such trouble. Get wings, so I have a better armor class. I don't know, guys. Flawless attacks. Makes me attack a little bit better. I don't think I need Sorcerer's Reflex at this point. Guess we'll go with flawless attacks. Okay, now I get to choose Greater Sword of Heaven. I've taken Everlasting Flame, so it now lasts 1 minute per mythic rank. So I'm at 8th mythic rank, so it'll last for 8 minutes. This does... My healing spells now remove paralysis and all negative levels from the target. So that's you know, somebody gets hit with a enervation or something and loses 3 levels, I can just hit him with a heal and they'll get rid of that. Heavenly Host. I need to have Bestow the Divine. What does Bestow the Divine do? Because Heavenly Host says to all allies in a 50-foot radius. Divine. Now imbue weapons of others with the same holy power. Angel can imbue weapons of only one creature. So I put that like on Lan or Aurelio's bow. +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made against creatures with demon subtype that deal 2d6 holy damage. This bonus stacks with Bane special ability. So I get Demon Bane him. It's a grand blessing. Wow, maximized. Target for 1 minute. Overwhelming flames. Just all enemies within 5 feet. Ooh. Speed of light. It's now under an effect similar to haste, but granting 2 additional attacks and making all spells of level 7 or lower quickened as though using the quicken spell feat. Swift action. So this would let me get swift actions off. I never can get to this, because I've only got 1 more Greater Sword of Heaven. But that looks like that might be similar to haste. 2 additional attacks. All spells of level 7 or lower quickened. So I can pop off a spell and still attack with a full attack. Alright, we're gonna go Speed of Light. Let's go Speed of Light. And I got new spells. Firestorm, Euphoric Tranquility, Storm of Justice, Gale of Life. Breath of Life, but all allies. Okay. Solar Chains. Rounds equal to caster level. 4d6 damage plus 1 may attempt new saving throw each round. What is it? Reflex. Divine Power, Holy Aura, and Greater Heroism spells for 1 round per caster level. Ooh, I can make Cilia just be absolutely insane. And I can do Storm Bolts. Okay, Storm of Justice, what's that? Multiple creatures. All enemies in 30-foot radius. That's it, unless my brain. Okay. Got stuff. And I got more armor class because of my wings. I'm up to armor class 40. And I'm using a spear. What happens if I throw my shield up there? I'll be like a 44. Okay, and I've got up to 8th level spells now. So, there we go. We have 2 Mythic Hero, 6 Angel, and 16 Cavalier. 16th level, whatever I am. Okay. There we go. Now it should... Choice is made. All you have to do is announce it to everyone. You sacrificed your own humanity to serve the forces of good, Goddess. Do not judge me if I choose to do the same. I guess that's my only choice. I didn't have a choice to go Demon or Lick. Trickster. You gotta have... I guess you gotta take... Like in chapter prologue or whatever, you gotta take Windwig to keep this one alive. Zada, you gotta pick... Lick is... You gotta do something with that Lick that I beat up in the dungeon with his rod, with his wand or something. You have to give it to him. And Trickster is you have to do something really early on. You have to succeed in something in the Black Library. I went and looked up these mythic paths to see how you could get to these, because you can't get to these. So it's like early on you have to do strange things here to get these 3 to keep going. And the dragon, you don't get a chance until you get to right here. And then you had to do what I did in letting that one guy go, and then Hal gives you a chance to become a dragon here. Okay. So, you sacrificed your own humanity to serve the forces of good, Goddess. Do not judge me if I choose to do the same.
It pains me to hear that. But I am not your judge, and I shall not stand in your way. At least not until I see that Golarion is under threat. You have chosen your path. Farewell.
Bye-bye, Ayomede. May we never see you again.
You did not step away from the path of light even after the Radiant Goddess asked you to. This moment, It deserves to be depicted in 1,000 paintings, frescoes, and stained glass windows.
There goes So-So, wanting to make art again.
It would have been so foolish for you to reject your powers. So many victories, so many achievements lie ahead for you. Well, go now. Capture Arilu, and prove which of you is making the best use of her invention. I'll be watching you.
I said she wanted me to go down the angel path. Wow. Well, that was scary. All right, let's go on here. We're at 30 minutes, but I have a bad feeling I'm going to get a whole bunch of cutscenes here. The way it's loading, that doesn't look good. Does not look good, kids. Does not look good. Where are we going here? Come on. Time passed 2 days. Okay. So everything's back to... It only took them 2 days to clean up the whole city and rebuild everything. These guys are good. We got the greatest engineers in all time. How? How? How did you rebuild all this? How did they rebuild all this so fast? Okay, step away from defeat. Reveal the miracles, Crusaders not million dollars, and some people's hearts instead.
Should we rest now?
Okay, here we go.
Nah.
Alright, we're going to put a cut in here. I will finish this up in a bit. Looks like I'm going to go through a whole bunch of cutscenes. So we'll go ahead and put this cut in here. I'm an angel. Went down the angel path, and we'll see where we go. Alright? If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. You really like to see, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notify bell. Be notified to upload videos and schedule streams. I'm Dren608. And until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.